When we talk about issues like poverty, they're very complex, and it's an issue that no one organization can solve itself.
And I think the summit is really a way to provide awareness to people that, hey, this is here, that it's here to last unless we do something about it, and then offer solutions.
And you get to hear this amazing exchange of ideas about how we're going to solve this issue of poverty together.
It brings all of our players together in the community, the people that are affected by this, the politicians, the community, and also the agencies that are involved to help solve this problem.
It's all about coming together and learn together and listen together and present voices together.
The wonderful thing about the Poverty to Possibility Summit is we get to bring these stories to life. It's no longer a data point on some graph. It's no longer some statistic. It's actual living, breathing humans.
This is the perfect way to hear input from people being affected, and as well as those other folks that are on the ground sharing what they're seeing. Poverty isn't because of one single issue. So hearing the chorus of voices and hearing how different organizations are trying different things, that's, I think, the best way that we're going to address the issue.
In order to reframe the conversation, I truly believe that we need to have all of the individuals involved. We need their voices, we need their action, and we need their engagement in order to help resolve this problem that we're trying to lift these families out of poverty.
We all recognize that poverty, equity, and race are a problem and an issue that we all need to get around. But a lot of times we don't really understand how we can do that.
We have to be able to acknowledge our differences. We have to be able to hear each other and hold space for each other, because we all come from different backgrounds and we all have our own stories, and we have to be able to really, truly, actively listen and hear other people and what their experience has been like.
Get everyone on board, having the same heart, speaking the same thing, believing in the same thing, and take action in the same thing.
The way to shift the conversation is to ingrain or to try to share empathy with folks, so that to show them that this isn't something that's happening to somebody else.
As we hear about it, we know that it's happening, but once you experience it and you see it, it's different. I'm a volunteer football coach for one of the local high schools, and so there's a lot of kids that struggle financially, even just to be able to get gear. There are some that may not have dinner that night if it weren't for the pregame meal. And when you witness that firsthand, it's heartbreaking. And so I think that's the type of thing that needs to happen in order for everybody to really jump in and take a hold of it.
We've been told that it's an us and them mentality, and we have to shift away from that if we're going to change the dynamic that we have and take away the stigma of poverty. And the goal, hopefully, is to pull somebody up so they can turn around and pull the next person up. And that's what we're trying to do by shifting away from this them and us, and hopefully get to a we community.
The significance of the United Way's role, to me, is that they are convener. And that is such a key component to resolving an issue in our community, bringing all of the people together at the table, listening to the voices, listening to the concerns, and coming up with a plan of action.
United Way has, in particular, this goal of lifting 15,000 families out of poverty by 2028.
Because that's what it's all about, is to help the families become to where they can run on their own. Yeah, that's the hope of anyone, everyone.
Well, 15,000 families is no small feat. It's going to take an army to be able to reach our goal. But when that happens, it's not just 15,000 families that are impacted. How many members of that family have been impacted?
If we can get 15,000 people out of poverty, that's going to make a big impact. That's going to help a lot of people, and those are going to have a lot of ripple effects in our community as well.
It also brings families to a more even playing field. It makes changes within that family, plus it makes generational changes as well. And generational changes will impact the community not only today, but in the future.
I think 15,000 is not going to be the end. It's not like you reach 15,000 and then we're done. I think the goals only get bigger and the results only get more impactful for our community.